My name is julgar. I'm the Government Relations Manager with the American Friends Service Committee. AFSC is a Quaker organization, a pretty old organization. We are 99 years old. And AFSC has been involved in many conflicts around the world, including in Iraq. So the organization's involvement working on Iraq goes back to 1991. One of the upcoming projects that we're keeping an eye on is an Iraq War Tribunal, a People's Tribunal on the Iraq War. And it has been 25 years of US military intervention in Iraq. And unfortunately, there is no accountability. So although the US military intervention started in 1991 with a brutal war, and continued throughout the 1990s through bombardments, through economic sanctions, through other interventions in Iraq. And then, of course, we all know about the 2003 invasion and the occupation that followed. The US is still interfering in Iraq until this day. The US still bombs Iraq and supports proxy groups, funds and trains and equips proxy groups, militias or Iraqi military groups who are also committing human rights violations in Iraq. So the US role in Iraq has been devastating, and this Iraq War Tribunal will look into this history, the 25 years of US military intervention, the human cost of this intervention. More than 1 million Iraqis were killed because of the US military intervention. The actual money that was spent on it, the treasure, the financial cost of this war as well will be an issue that will be looked into. And also we'll try to unpack the lies and the propaganda that surrounded the war in the last 25 years. One of the more important things that I'm looking for is emphasizing the fact that the US is still at war with Iraq, and until now, some people think that the Iraq war is over or that the Obama administration withdrew from Iraq. This is not true. There was a short withdrawal, but now we have thousands of US troops back in Iraq, and we are funding and training hundreds of thousands of militia, paramilitary and military personnel who are Iraqis who are fighting inside Iraq with our tax dollars. So the US intervention continues every day, and the US continues to destroy Iraq and destroy Iraqis. And now, when I was born in Iraq and I lived there throughout the 90s, and I was there during the 2003 invasion, sometimes people ask me to describe the effect of the US intervention in Iraq. I think it needs hours to describe, but in short, I would say the US intervention destroyed Iraq's national identity. So Iraqis used to view themselves as Iraqis. Now they view themselves based on these sub-identities: Sunnis, Shiites, Christians, Kurds, based on their ethnicities and sects rather than their national identity. That's one thing that was destroyed because of the US, and the divisions were introduced because of the US. The other important thing is Iraq's territorial integrity. Iraq used to be one country. Now Iraq is divided into ethnic and sectarian regions, and that was also introduced by the United States. The US destroyed Iraq's territorial integrity, made it a country that is built based on these small regions rather than a unified country. And the third thing that the US destroyed is Iraq's sovereignty. Iraq has no say in protecting its borders or economy or politics from foreigners. Iran interferes, Turkey interferes, Israel interferes, the US interferes, Russia interferes. Everyone interferes in Iraq's domestic politics because Iraq has no sovereignty anymore. So these are like three big titles when we look at the destruction. Of course, when you look at the human cost and the financial cost, you can see how the destruction of these three main issues have caused the country to lose millions of its people and trillions of dollars worth of economic losses and infrastructure losses. So this tribunal will focus on all of this. We will try to unpack all of this through testimonies of dozens of experts and people from the region or from the US or from the military or from other aspects. And I really encourage audiences in Brazil to keep an eye out on this, see what's going on with the US role in Iraq, and call for accountability. The international community has to pressure the United States to be held accountable, to give Iraqis compensation, to end its intervention in Iraq, to look back and try to help Iraqis move forward by changing the US policy in Iraq. So I'm hoping that your audiences will join us on December 1st and 2nd during this Iraq War Tribunal.